Don't get me. Don't get me. Well, all right. Welcome to another episode of Getting Naked with Nasty, uncovering the beats with Nasty on the Beats. I am Nasty on the Beats, www.nastyonthebeats.com, and we're going to jump right in to this episode. This particular beat was from my BBS series. Again, please don't ask. Just a series that I'm in. I start when I make my beats. I think it's when I was using. I still use Spotify, but when I used to play my own music, my own phone files through Spotify, and I've got a bunch of other stuff on there. So how do I get to my beats easier? I would just put 2 zeros before the beat name so that they all come up first. You know what I mean? However many there are, but all the beats will be at the top, the 00. And so each beat would start off in my MPC 00 and either the beat name or 00, the series name, and then the beat name. And once I really got into doing series names, just to kind of remember, what's where, I started doing it more often. So this is the BBS series, and made, if I'm correct, right after the Congress album. Right after the Congress album, I started getting into, I think that's what BBS is, boom-bap slap. And so a lot of them are a lot more grimier, more harder in the boom-bap or whatever, as you'll hear with this one. And with that, I started to conceptualize and move towards this concept of a project called the Avaricious Reclamation of a Craftily Stolen Green. I've already done the artwork for it, very prophetic to my life, and it has to do with taking over the economy. Newly, in a new sense, and then it's almost like taking over the old system and then implementing a new system at the same time. You know what I mean? So if you will, if you can imagine being a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, and then if you could exceed that, what would that be? Quadrillionaire or something like that? If you could exceed the heights of economic status from a financial sense, and then come in with a new and put that one down and put it out, if you will. And that's the concept. That's a way of saying it, but it's about bringing in a new economy. What would it look like if the American dollar was no longer the leading currency? You know what I mean? What would happen if actual currency of dollars and coins weren't what dominated transactions or dominated or determined wealth? See, what would that look like? See what I'm saying? So the avaricious reclamation of a craftily stolen green. So, and this is supposed to be on that album. I've actually got my verse for this. I'm trying to get some features on it, but I hadn't quite sent it out yet. I've got a concept for it and so forth, but this shit is hard. So we're going to get into it. Again, international sample. Don't get me. Don't get me. All right, here we go. Sample. Heard some things in there, you know what I mean? I didn't know it was from this sample. Okay, so I'll move this back up to 1. I'm gonna show you something interesting before I get into this. recognize that? If you're familiar with me and my music, you know that's on one of my that's on the David album. I use the same sample pitch down. It's on the David album, and it's track 3, and it's called Honking at the Bird Watchers. Decreed from many waters of the king that is flowing by the river of government everlasting. The bear market bully and fully naked, pulling out his dick to signify which vote he's never casting. Undressing with her, preferring the tossed salads over kissing the ass of the donkey to cost balance. Or irrelevant elephants, lying to die twice, unprepared and buried. He was scared of the blind mice. My divine advice is critical. I go off on that shit, but that's the sample. So we flip it another way, and I think this, I don't know which beat was made first. Not sure. Anyway, so yeah, let's get into it. We so you hear where it's going, okay? We're just gonna do these in succession. We're gonna stop. That's my snare. Boom, boom. If the hi-hats sound like they're off, they are, and they could never be more on, baby. All right, bass line was on the 5. Yeah, it's got a smell to it. I smell it coming out the speaker. Okay, my verse for this is sick too, baby. I go off. I didn't do that for y'all. I got to go back and do it. Put that shit on 6. All right, let me play it one more time, just for the festivities of it. Okay, and then on the 7, it's a little vocal from the same. I know I'm silly, y'all. Okay, again, only six tracks lit up. Just drums and bass. Well, let's just do drums. You hear that shit slap. Bass line. All right. Just the sample and the bass line. Again, we're not prolonging. If it ain't got to be a long episode, it ain't got to be a long episode. Let's get into it. We're going to go into song mode. It loops 4 bars, comes back around. So we just finna bang in just like this, baby. You ready? Tarantino Bleedy. Pause. By the way, you understand why it's called Tarantino Bleedy? Because I like him as a director and putting movies together. But his shit be gory. So that's how the title came about. Tarantino Bleedy. Instead of bloody, bleedy. All right. That shit slap. Again, the Avaricious Reclamation of a Craftily Stolen Green. Still working on writing the rest of the album or whatever. I got a few songs done, but more than likely it's going to go on there. That's what it is. Another episode of Getting Naked with Nasty, uncovering the beats with Nasty on the Beats. I am Nasty on the Beats. www.nastyonthebeats.com. Holla!